It is 6:15 in the morning. Your kitchen light is on. Someone knocks hard enough to make the glass shake. You look through the peephole. Two officers, dark jackets. One says, "Your name is on our list." And this is where most people make the first mistake. They open the door. They confirm their name. They answer, "Where were you born?" They try to explain, but the next few seconds are the danger zone. Politeness can become consent. A simple answer can become useful information. So does a list mean you must answer, step outside, or let them in? Because the scariest part of that sentence is not the word list. It is what they want you to do next. I am going to treat this like I would coach a client on the phone in real time. Not to scare you, to slow the moment down. Here is the reframe. A list is not a warrant. An officer can say your name. They can say they are looking for you. They can ask questions through a closed door. But that sentence does not automatically give them power to enter your home, search your rooms, or force you to explain your immigration history. The trick is confidence. People hear authority in the voice and mistake it for legal authority on paper. So your job is not to argue. Your job is to make them show the document, state the reason, and identify what power they actually have. So before you answer their sentence, you have to answer a different question first. Where are you standing? Your answer starts with your feet. If you are inside the home, stay inside the home. Do not crack the door. Do not step onto the porch. Do not open it just to see. That tiny movement can change the whole encounter. Here is why. A closed door keeps the legal line clear. They are outside. You are inside. Their authority has to come through paper, not pressure. But once the door opens, everything gets messy. They can see more. They can hear more. They can push questions faster. They may claim you consented to talk, consented to entry, or moved into a place where they had more control over the situation. And this is where most people make the mistake. They think opening the door is polite. In this moment, it is not politeness. It is access. So here are the exact words to say through the closed door. "I do not want to talk to you without a lawyer present. Please leave." Or say, "Please slide your identification and any warrant under the door." Then stop. Do not explain. Do not debate. Make them play their hand from the other side. But once they say they have a warrant, the pressure changes. And this is where the bluff often begins. Now they say the magic word. "We have a warrant." That sentence is designed to make your hand move toward the doorknob. Do not let it. Here is what most people do wrong. They open the door to inspect the paper. They reach for it. They stand face to face. And in that one move, the closed door line you were protecting gets weaker. So make them show it without giving them access. The exact words are, "I want to see a judicial warrant signed by a judge. Please slide it under the door." Say it slowly. Say it once. Then wait. If they will not slide it under, ask them to hold it up to a window. If you can safely photograph it through the glass, photograph it. You are looking for one key thing, a judge's signature. A judicial warrant is signed by a judge. Some immigration paperwork may look official, may have your name on it, may say warrant, but if it is signed by an immigration officer, that is different. That paper may not authorize entry into your home. Not your car, not the sidewalk, your home. The hidden mechanic is simple. The words, "We have a warrant," are not the warrant. The paper is where their power has to show up. And if they do not show that kind of warrant, the next trap is getting you to talk anyway. Then comes the soft question. Is this you? They say your name. Maybe they say an address. Maybe they mention a workplace, a cousin, a car, a trip. And because it sounds harmless, your instinct is to correct them. That is the mistake. Here is what most people do not realize. Your name is on our list does not mean they have everything they need. Sometimes it means they are testing what matches. Identity, location, relationships, admissions. You answer one small question, and now you have helped them connect the next dot. Yes, that is me. Yes, I live here. Yes, he is my brother. Yes, I work over there. Each answer feels tiny. Together they can become a map. So do not fill in their case for them. You do not have to answer questions about your birthplace, immigration status, address, family, workplace, or travel. Not at the door. Not on the sidewalk. Not because the question sounds casual. The exact words are, "I am choosing to remain silent. I want to speak with a lawyer." If you are outside, add this, "Am I free to leave?" Then stop talking. Do not explain. Do not argue. Do not guess what they know. The fact they are asking is the tell. Make the government show its authority before you give away yours. But silence alone is not enough if they shift from questions to searches. Now the pressure changes. They stop asking who you are and start asking to come in. Or they ask to look around. Or they say, just open the bag. Just let us check the car. Just step aside. Here is the concrete rule. If they do not have proper legal authority, you can refuse consent. Not rude, not dramatic. Clear. Because consent is the turning point. If an officer cannot lawfully enter or search without a valid warrant or another legal basis, your okay may become the permission they needed. Your hesitation can be treated like cooperation. Stepping back from the doorway can be treated like letting them in. So do not leave it fuzzy. The exact words are, I do not consent to you entering my home. If they ask to search, say, I do not consent to this search. If they keep standing there, say, please leave, then stop. No speech, no debate. And hear this part carefully. Do not block them. Do not push the door into them. Do not run. Do not physically resist. Your job is to make your refusal clear and preserve the issue for a lawyer. Now take the same pressure and move it out of the doorway, onto the sidewalk, at work, or beside your car. Now you are outside. Sidewalk, parking lot, job site, traffic stop. An officer walks up and says, your name is on our list. That sentence feels like power, but it may be pressure. The control question is simple. Am I free to leave? Say it calmly, say it once. Then listen. If they say yes, leave calmly. Do not explain where you are going. Do not answer extra questions. Do not try to prove anything. The whole point is to exit before casual talking becomes evidence. If they say no, do not run. Do not pull away. Do not argue in the street. Say, I am remaining silent. I want to speak to a lawyer. That is the fork. And this matters in a car stop too. You may need to provide license, registration, and insurance if required, but questions like where were you born or what is your immigration status are different. Answers to those questions can later be used in immigration proceedings. You can also ask, what is your name, badge number, and agency? If it is safe, document what happens without interfering. Make them show whether this is a real detention or just a bluff. But the most dangerous document in this encounter may not be the warrant. It may be the paper they ask you to sign. Then comes the clipboard, a form through the car window, a paper on a counter, a document pushed across a table in detention, and the officer says, just sign here. Do not. The exact words are, I will not sign anything until I speak with my lawyer. Not because every paper is fake, because you may not know what the paper does. It can look routine and still contain admissions. It can waive a hearing. It can agree to voluntary departure. It can speed up removal before you understand what you gave away. That is the trick. The pressure is not just in the badge. It is in the pace. They move fast, you get scared, you sign, and now the government has a document with your name on it. So slow the moment down. Before anything happens, memorize or carry the contact information for a trusted lawyer, a family member, or local legal aid. If someone is detained, family can search locator.ice.gov. At this point, the pattern should be obvious. The list was never the real power, and that is the bigger meaning of the whole encounter. Your name is on our list is built to make you feel like the decision already happened, like the case is closed, like the only thing left is for you to cooperate. But if that were true, they would not need so much from you. They would not need you to open the door. They would not need you to answer questions. They would not need consent to enter. They would not need a signature on a paper you have not read. That is the tell. Pressure is the tool. Speed is the tool. Fear is the tool. Your job is not to win a legal argument in the doorway. Your job is to slow the moment down and make them show authority before you give away yours. Calm refusal is not hiding. It is how rights are exercised. So now let's go back to that knock and answer the question we started with. Here is the answer. Your name is on our list is not a key to your door. It is not permission to search. It is not a command that forces you to talk, sign, or explain. So if you hear it, slow the moment down and say this. I do not want to speak without a lawyer. Please slide your identification and any judicial warrant under the door. I do not consent to entry or search. I am choosing to remain silent. That is the script. Not an argument, not a debate, not a story about your life. Just those words, repeated calmly if needed. Your next step is simple. Save that sentence, practice it with your family, and keep a lawyer or legal aid contact where you can reach it fast. If you want a printable write script, comment script. Thank you for watching. Next, we will cover what to do if they refuse to leave, keep knocking, or try to wear you down at the door.